Brody walk up to the door, say where the hoes at. He ain't finna be on shit, I bet he know that. Sorry like
Yo, what's good, YouTube? It's your boy Ken, man.
It's your boy Deadz.
We come back at y'all with another reaction video, man. It's that true night shift horror story animated, you know what I'm saying? We're gonna get into the video, man. And also, we're gonna leave the link to the official video down below if you wanna go check it out for yourself. Also, don't forget to go follow us on the socials. It's gonna be in the description below. It's at Deadz&Ken.
Mine is at his Deadz.
Yes, sirski. But without further ado, man, let's get into this terrifying, this terror-filled. Let's get into the video, man. Reflexes.
This story happened 3 years ago. First, I want to start off by saying that I'm a femboy with long blonde hair and crystal blue eyes. I always get mistaken for being an actual girl due to me being 5'5" and very petite.
Yeah, sound like
anyway,
you know
I worked a great.
Sound like what?
Sound like the nigga a bit.
I mean, he said he's a femboy, so
Bad.
I guess he said he's 5'5" petite, so it works out.
Shifted Sonics, along with 3 of my friends, which I'll name. I worked the graveyard shift at Sonics. Along with
Sonics.
That's where I used to work, bro.
Yeah, the graveyard shift.
Nah, fuck that. I used to work at
my
Sonic.
friends, which I'll name Mike, Robbie, and Charlotte for this story. We also had a shift manager that monitored our shifts and assigned us breaks and whatnot. It was around 11 p.m. and we were about to close in another hour. The shift was really slow and there was really nothing to do other than redo everything we'd already cleaned. Our shift manager, being the laid-back woman she was, said that we could do whatever, but we would have to come back immediately if we began to pick up on orders. Really, she only said this so she could go out back to smoke a cigarette and scroll through her Facebook. Robbie and Charlotte decided to sneak off, knowing that our manager wouldn't return back inside until it was closing time. So they took Robbie's car and drove off, saying they'd be back before our manager. This left only Mike and I alone in the store. After a while, I noticed something on one of the monitors. A man just stood there. He was extremely tall and lanky. It was like his arms were extremely long, though I could be exaggerating. His skin did a horrible job on covering the bones underneath. His eyes looked like they were going to pop out of his skull, and his teeth didn't fit in his mouth.
Sound like crackhead.
He just stood there, swaying side to side. It was like his body moved, but his head and neck didn't move with it, even though they were attached. Well, I was completely freaked out, and Mike just laughed, saying he must be stoned. I laughed it off too, but only to make me feel better. It didn't. Because he didn't have a car, my headset didn't connect to the speaker that allowed me to speak to him. He stood there for about another 5 minutes before he walked away. I felt a relief hit me as I saw him walk off the monitor, but I couldn't celebrate for long. Mike had asked me to blow him, and I was down for it. That was until
What? Hey, man, I had to think. I was like, wait, I ain't hear that, right? You know what I'm saying? We didn't hear that.
We didn't hear that.
He probably means something else.
No, yeah. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we gotta run that shit back.
He hit me as I saw him walk off the monitor, but I couldn't celebrate for long. Mike had asked me to blow him, and I was down for it.
He said that, though.
That was...
No, he definitely said that.
He did say that, though.
And then he definitely said, I'm down for that, too. He definitely said that, too.
The funny nigga talking about. That's a question.
One more time. Hold on.
Mike had asked me to blow him, and I was down for it.
Yeah, that was 100% what they said.
That's crazy.
What?
Hey, man, I don't know, man. Hey, I feel like we should continue the story. You probably mean something else.
Yeah, gotta be.
You know what I'm saying?
Like, no way you're gonna be on your knees.
Yeah, no.
That was until there was a beep coming from a stall, which meant someone pressed the red button and wanted to order. Before I was able to do my sonic greeting, I was already greeted with jagged breathing. It sounded like someone trying so desperately to breathe for air, or as Mike would explain it, someone with a slit throat.
Damn.
I gathered up the courage and spoke. Welcome to Sonic. Order when you're ready. I was just greeted by heavy breathing. I felt all the hair stand up on my arms. I repeated it again in case he didn't hear me. Just more breathing.
That nigga like me would have been like, you put hot ass breath. Oh man.
After a while, I just hung up because I was getting freaked out. It was 11:30 p.m. by now, and Mike and I began to gather our stuff together due to it being almost home time. We both heard the back door open and close, and we figured it was just Robbie and Charlotte sneaking back in before our manager came back to say we could clock out now. "You guys are early," Mike called back there. No response. "You guys back there?" Mike called. Still no response. I could see Mike getting irritated. He marched back there while saying, "Hey, I'm speaking to you guys. Mike got quiet. I went to him to figure out what the hell was going on back there. As I stood next to Mike, I saw why he went quiet. It was that man from outside. He'd gone through the door our manager usually cracked open so she didn't get locked out.
Fuck the manager. For real.
He just stood there, staring. His eyes wider than ever.
Shit.
White stuff bubbled from his mouth. He pulled out something from his back pocket. It was a knife. Mike and I were both frozen, not knowing what to do.
Is there another
The man pulled up his sleeve, revealing his extremely long and bony arm. He then begins cutting himself while making that same gasping noise along with a blood-curdling scream. He screamed so loud, I screamed in shock. Then he turned and limped toward the door. One leg walking while the other leg dragged behind. Mike and I just stood there. It wasn't long before Charlotte and Robbie walked in, filling the silence with their laughter. They looked at the terrified look in our eyes, and we immediately told them everything. At first, they didn't believe us, but I guess the tone and look of our faces showed we weren't lying. Soon, our manager walked in, asking if we were ready to leave. And I asked if we could replay the outside tape from an hour.
That's what I'm trying to figure out. Like, the nigga was stabbing his leg at least a good 10 times.
And nobody saw a drop of blood.
Like, there's no way there's not any blood.
Ago, and she agreed. As we watched if we could replay the outside tape from an hour ago, and she agreed. As we watched the tape, I was even more stunned at what I saw. There was no man in the drive-thru or standing at the stall. And the creepiest thing? Seeing me and Mike just standing there terrified at nothing.
So they both shot up.
So was it a ghost they seen or something? Like,
that's what it sounded like.
Oh shit!
Hell,
I'll be fuck.
Man, I ain't working at Sonic ever. If that happened to me, I'm quitting on the spot. I didn't see nobody in the camera that I thought I saw.
Exactly, and I know I'm not tripping because my friend saw it too.
And he walked in this bitch and started stabbing himself
and screaming.
Talk to me nice, nigga. I'm out of here. I'm out of here.
Yeah, y'all better come and call a pastor and fix this damn store, bro, or something.
That shit crazy.
Nigga, Holy Ghost water everywhere.
Nigga was a legit zombie. That's crazy.
Hell no, bro.
I don't know. But that was an interesting story, I ain't lying, man.
I would have. Exactly.
I would have lost my shit.
And the fact that store's by a graveyard too, like.
No. It's a graveyard shift.
Oh, graveyard.
Like a night shift.
Oh, okay.
That's what that means. Yeah.
Oh, shit.
If it was by a graveyard, that'd be. Yeah, I wouldn't work there. I wouldn't want to work by a graveyard.
Wouldn't be that at all.
Fuck no. Definitely gonna see ghosts. But nah, it was a cool little video, man. It was interesting. If you liked it, you enjoyed it, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. You already know. Turn on the post notifications, man. If you want us to react to more scary stories like this, man, DM us on my gram. But now we out, man.
Waiting too long, now I'm chasing my dreams. Hit those on off, then we putting to sleep. Cuff for a button, a sip of codeine. Came from the mud, now I'm making a scene. Ice nigga down if he running his mouth, then we running his house, when we making a